Hey everyone, this is Taz and welcome to my channel. I hope everybody's doing great. It will melt into your mouth and you cannot stop with just one slice. It's irresistible, guys. I'm talking about Tres Leches cake. This is going to be a special video. I'm going to show you guys how to make Tres Leches cake from scratch. It's a very light, fluffy, airy and ultra moist cake, and it's a very popular cake in Mexico and Latin America. Tres Leches cake is also called 3-milk cake. So it's basically a sponge cake soaked in 3 kinds of milk like evaporated milk, condensed milk and heavy cream or regular milk. The beauty about this cake is we can bake this cake with very simple and minimal ingredients that's always found in our pantry and refrigerator. For making the cake batter, we won't be using butter or oil, so we'll be essentially beating the egg whites and yolks separately, so the cake will have many air bubbles. So that's the reason even after soaking the cake in 3 kinds of milk, it will not turn soggy. This has turned into one of my favorite cakes, so easy to make, and this will make a perfect cake for any special occasions or for holidays. So guys, let's get started and let's bake Tres Leches cake. Let's first whip the egg whites. So in a bowl, I'm going to separate 4 egg whites. We will need egg whites from 4 eggs and we'll be only using 2 egg yolks. So save the egg yolks. Here are the 4 egg whites. Next I'm going to add half teaspoon lemon juice, or you can add half teaspoon white vinegar, or if you have cream of tartar, add that would be ideal. So just half teaspoon. So by adding lemon juice or white vinegar, the beaten egg whites will turn really stiff. Next, using an electric hand mixer, I'm going to beat the egg whites till soft peaks have formed. If you have a stand mixer, you can use that. Use whisk attachment. So I'm also adding half cup white granulated sugar. Gradually add the sugar and beat at high speed till peaks have formed. The beaten egg whites have turned stiff, so this is the kind of texture we need. So beat it at high speed for 10 to 15 minutes. So keep this aside. Next, into another bowl, I'm going to add 2 egg yolks. So we only need 2 egg yolks. 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract. Next, adding half cup milk. Beat well at high speed for a few minutes till the mixture turns pale and fluffy. Let's mix all the dry ingredients to a bowl, adding 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Mix everything well. So this is the dry ingredients. To the beaten egg yolk and milk, let's add the flour mix. After adding the flour mix, beat at low speed till everything has well incorporated. You can also use a silicone spatula and scrape the sides for even mixing. Next, let's fold in the beaten egg whites. So add a dollop of egg whites and fold it well using a silicone spatula. So let's add the beaten egg whites in 3 additions. Each time mix it well. I have folded in all the beaten egg whites. So here is the sponge cake batter, and please ensure not to over mix the cake batter. So keep this aside. Next, let's prepare the cake pan. So I have taken 8-inch square pan. So for making Tres Leches cake, you have to use a square or rectangle pan. So I'm going to grease the pan with melted butter. So generously grease the pan with butter, and then let's line a parchment paper. Spread some melted butter on the parchment paper as well. So I'm going to keep the edges of the parchment paper like so. So that way it will be much easier to lift the cake out of the pan. Pour the cake batter onto the pan. I have already preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's 175 degrees Celsius. So let's keep the cake pan into the preheated oven on the middle rack. So let's bake this cake for 25 minutes. So keep the timer. So I'm going to set it to 25 minutes, and after 25 minutes I'll insert a fork or a knife into the center of the cake, and if it comes out clean, the cake has baked well. It's been 25 minutes, so I'm going to take the cake pan out of the oven, and next I'm going to insert a knife, or you can even insert a toothpick into the center of the cake. So if it comes out clean, it has baked perfectly. This is perfect. If you find the center of the cake hasn't cooked well, you can bake it for another 5 to 10 minutes. We need to allow the cake to cool down, so I'm going to take it out of the pan. So I just need to lift the parchment paper, and I'm going to place it on a wire rack and let it cool down completely. So it will take a few minutes. So keep this aside. Next, let's prepare the 3 milk mixture. So to a bowl, I'm going to first add half cup milk. So instead of milk, you can also add heavy cream, but I'm going with regular milk. And next, I'm going to add half cup evaporated milk and half cup sweetened condensed milk. So this is the ratio that I love: half cup of milk, evaporated milk, and sweetened condensed milk. Give everything a good mix. So this is our 3 milk mixture. So next we are going to pour this over the cool down sponge cake and let it soak for a few hours. Let's transfer the cake with the parchment paper to a glass bowl from the wire rack. So next, let's pour the 3 milk mixture, and just now I realized I need to poke some holes into the cake. So using a fork, put some holes so that the 3 milk mixture will be absorbed well into the cake. Let's pour the entire 3 milk mixture over the cake. Yes, pour it everything, and make sure to keep the cake in a large bowl. And I'm not going to remove the parchment paper. Let it be there. It will collect all the milk, and don't worry, the cake will soak up all the milk. Cover the cake with a cling wrap, and next let's place this in the refrigerator. So I'm going to keep this in the refrigerator overnight. If you prefer, you can just let it soak for a few hours. I would say 3 to 4 hours it has to soak. So I'm going to keep this overnight. Next, let's make whipped cream. So to a bowl, I'm adding 1.5 cups heavy whipping cream. So it has to be heavy whipping cream, 1.5 cups. And next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons powdered sugar. I'm using an electric hand mixer and beating at high speed till soft peaks have formed. So you need to beat it at high speed. Here is the whipped cream. So if you're not going to use this right away, you need to keep this in the refrigerator. So this is ready. I soaked the cake with the milk mixture in the refrigerator overnight. So I just took it out of the refrigerator. As you can see, there is some milk mixture on top of the cake. So using a spoon, I'm going to remove that. So the sponge cake is still firm. It has not turned soggy even after soaking in the milk mixture. To make this cake look pretty, I'm going to cut off the sides and save it. Yes, I'm going to devour that later. So let's make into a perfect square shape. So this is just optional. You don't have to cut off the sides. You can, frost the cake with the whipped cream. So here is a perfect square shape. So now it looks really clean and pretty. To frost the cake, I have transferred the cake to another cake stand, and please save all these drippings. It's really delicious. When you serve the cake, you can also pour some dripping and the milk mixture over the cake. So I'm going to save this. Let's frost the cake with the whipped cream frosting, and using an angled spatula, spread it all over the cake. I have frosted the sides and the top of the cake, so it looks really good right now. So just smoothen the top. It's good to use an angled spatula. Next, I'm going to sprinkle some cocoa powder on top of the frosting. So this is optional. If you don't like cocoa powder on your cake, you can totally skip it. So I'm going to cover the frosting with cocoa powder. Next, placing some halved strawberries. So you can literally top this cake with any kind of berries, strawberries or blueberries. So I'm going with strawberries. Next, I'm going to place some pistachios. You can even add some almonds or mixed nuts will also work. I'm not yet done with the decoration part. I'm going to place some chocolate chips on the sides. So this is optional. You don't have to do this. Just with the whipped cream frosting, strawberries and nuts, this cake will taste divine. This is the end result. Absolutely stunning tres leches cake. It's time to serve, so I'm going to slice the cake. It's quite amazing how this cake hasn't turned soggy even after soaking in the 3 milk mixture. It's ultra soft yet firm. Guys, decadent and melt into the mouth tres leches cake that can be baked effortlessly. This will make a perfect cake for any special occasions, and you can make this cake ahead of time. So do give this recipe a try and let me know your feedback. So if you have liked this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe. I'll be back with more cooking videos. Until then, happy baking, take care, and bye.